Have you ever had that weird feeling that no matter how much your life changes, you're still suffering for the same old reasons? It's like life keeps rewriting the script, but you're stuck playing the same role. Broken heart, bottled up, anger, that constant sense of unfairness. And time goes on, but you feel like you haven't moved an inch, like you're trapped in some emotional rerun, the kind of show nobody wanted a second season of. But what if I told you that it's not the pain that's holding you back? It's an invisible belief you keep repeating without realizing it? Stick with me, because what I'm about to share might completely change how you see your suffering. And hey, if you're into content that shakes up your thinking, challenges your old beliefs and makes you question your own patterns, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's just a click now, but it might trigger a bigger click inside you later. All right, let's get to the core of this. There's this quote by Carl Jung, the Swiss psychoanalyst who was so deep into the human soul, he basically became a philosopher. What? You resist persists. So what does that actually mean? It means the real problem isn't what happened to you. It's how hard you're fighting what already happened. It's like getting stung by a bee and then poking the sting every day for years, saying, "This was so unfair." And guess what? The more you poke, the longer it takes to heal. All you get is more pain. The truth is, most people aren't suffering because of the event itself. They're suffering because of their stubborn resistance to accepting what they can't change. And that, my friend, is the most silent and destructive emotional loop you can be stuck in. Humans have this funny habit of wanting to control everything, but life doesn't follow the script we write in our heads. Spoiler alert, it never does. And when things go off script, we fall apart. We start asking, why me? Or, this shouldn't be happening. But yeah, it should. It did happen. It's real. It's part of your emotional history now. And until you accept that, you'll keep reliving the same pain, just wearing different clothes. Jung said it best. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Here's a simple and brutal example. Someone gets betrayed. Totally natural to be hurt. But instead of processing it, they latch onto the victim role. They build a mental story like, I can never trust anyone again. And from that moment on, every new relationship becomes emotional warfare. That one betrayal becomes a ghost that keeps showing up, even when nobody invited it in. Here's the kicker. Pain is natural. But ongoing suffering, that's an unconscious choice. And here's where it gets tricky. From a young age, we're taught to suppress pain. Don't cry. Be strong. Don't show weakness. So we get really good at pretending we're fine. We start storing feelings like unpaid bills in a drawer, and then we wonder why our heads feel so heavy. Now, if you grew up in a place where love came with abandonment, affection came with guilt, or presence came with emotional distance, your brain started associating pain with normal, and now, without even realizing, it keeps looking for those same feelings. Not because they're good, but because they're familiar. And the brain, it's addicted to what's familiar, even if it's slowly breaking you from the inside. Tough, right? But this is where a spiritual principle comes in that can shatter that whole cycle. And no, this isn't about religion, blind faith, or cheesy positivity. It's something much simpler, but way more powerful. Acceptance. Now hold on. I don't mean accepting as in being okay with what happened. This isn't about pretending pain feels good. Acceptance means recognizing that it happened, that you can't change the past, and that you can stop fighting it now. When you truly accept something, you take the fuel away from suffering. You stop feeding the pain with thoughts like, this shouldn't have happened, or, if only things were different. Instead, you shift your energy to what can change right now. But let's be real, acceptance isn't easy, because to accept is to admit that life didn't go how you wanted. It's facing the fact that maybe you were holding on to something that never existed the way you imagined. And you know what's even more painful than accepting the truth? Living a lie about it. Acceptance is where freedom starts. It's that moment you say, okay, this hurt me. That's real, but I'm no longer in that pain. I'm someone who went through it. That's when pain becomes memory, not identity. And here's something maybe nobody ever told you. Your pain doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do with it. You can be the person who carries open wounds for years, or the one who turns scars into wisdom. I get it. This might sound a little philosophical, but it's actually super practical. Wanna see? Next time pain hits you, instead of reacting on autopilot, try this. Breathe. Give yourself a moment before the emotion drags you under. Notice it. Where is the pain? Chest, gut, thoughts. Accept it. Say to yourself, okay, this is here now, I don't have to fight it. Don't repeat the old story. Every time you replay the pain in your mind, you reinforce the victim identity. It's like rewatching that same sad movie over and over, even though you already know how it ends. You can turn it off. You can change the channel, but you've got to want to. And maybe, for the first time in your life, that you'll realize nobody's coming to save you. Not your ex, not your mom, not God in a lightning bolt. It's you. You're the one who has to make the inner shift. You're the one who has to stop listening to that ego voice that says the world owes you something. Because the ego, oh, it loves to keep pain alive. That's how it feels important. It whispers things like, you're different. No one understands your pain, but here's the truth, everyone feels pain. The only difference is, some people cling to it, and others transform it. You don't have to carry that story anymore. Your pain can be a chapter, not your whole book. One more thing, acceptance doesn't end the pain, it ends the resistance. And when resistance stops, pain loses its power. It might still be there, but it's not running the show anymore. It's like walking around with a rock in your shoe and finally saying, that's enough. You take it out. You look at it. You say, yeah, you hurt me, but I'm done carrying you. And in that moment, something shifts. You stop reacting. You start choosing. You live like someone who writes their story, not like someone stuck in a script they didn't choose. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are, not who the world shaped based on your wounds. So, now let me ask you a real question, and be honest with yourself. Are you still fighting something that's already over? If the answer is yes, maybe it's time to let go, not to forget, but to move forward. Not to erase the pain, but to stop letting it control your life. And if that hits you in the gut, type it in the comments right now. I choose to break the cycle. Because if that phrase rings true for you, you already know it's time. Just remember, suffering only holds power over you as long as you keep feeding it with resistance. Take a deep breath. You're doing better than you think. And maybe, just maybe, the pain you're carrying is actually the beginning of your transformation. Because the soul's gold, it only shows up after you face your own darkness. See you in the next video.